Welcome. This video is designed to give you an overview of the changes that will be coming to MIV with our new multiple dossiers enhancement. Before I show you how the new functionality works, let me provide some background on how this enhancement was developed. Adding the ability to have multiple dossiers in progress at a time for a single candidate seems like it would be a simple change, but it actually represented a very large challenge for the development team. From the beginning, MIV has been structured around a single dossier for an individual. To make the shift to multiple dossiers work, we had to adjust the process of creating a dossier. For example, one of the issues that presented itself early on was how we manage separate sets of data for each dossier that may be in progress. A candidate may have two actions in progress at one time, let's say a merit and an endowed chair review, that have two different periods of review, and which may require different annotations on the data. If one or both dossiers have to be returned to the candidate location at some point to correct an error or pick up new data, how do we prevent the two sets of data from getting mixed up? This is where the concept of packets comes from. A packet represents the candidate's data for a particular action. A candidate can have multiple packets in existence at any given time, and each packet can be designed and annotated differently to fit the action that it corresponds with. Right now, I have assumed or proxied a candidate's account in the test environment. As you can see on the main menu bar, the My Dossier menu, which included links to Design My Dossier, Create My Dossier, View My Dossier, and Send Dossier to My Department, no longer exists. Instead, there is a My Packets menu option, with new links to Manage My Packets and Manage Master Annotations. Let's go to Manage My Packets. The top section of this page displays any currently outstanding packet requests. We'll get back to this a little bit later. For now, let's look at the bottom section, which lists the packets that currently exist for this candidate. In the test and training environment, you will find that most candidates currently have no existing packets. Once the enhancement is deployed to MIV, all candidates will be given a template packet, which will be named to match the action they currently have in progress, or simply template if they have no actions in progress. For this demonstration, I have created some historical packets for this candidate. The most recently created or edited packet will be on the top of the list. Hovering over a packet will bring up a series of options. We can edit the existing packet, delete it, rename it, or duplicate it, which will copy the included data and annotations of this packet into a new one. We can also preview the packet in PDF form through this link. Let's create a new packet, as this candidate has an endowed chair reappointment coming up this year, and we'd like to begin designing the dossier and the data that will go into it. Click on the Add Packet button. Choose a unique name for the packet. We are taken to a page that should look familiar. This is where you will design the packet by choosing the data that you would like to include. I can expand sections and use the checkboxes to indicate what data I would like to appear in the packet. Once you have chosen the data to be included in the packet, scroll down to the bottom and click Save. Now let's return to the Manage My Packets page. You will see that our new packet is now at the top of the list. But let's say we want to edit an existing packet. Here we can choose again what we'd like to include in the dossier. When I went to edit this packet, you can see that the Publications section was expanded by default. This alerts us that since this packet was last edited, something in the Publications data has changed. When we scroll down, we can see that a changed message appears next to the publications that have been edited, and a new message appears to one that has been added. By default, data that has been edited will remain checked, and we should uncheck it if we no longer want to include it in the packet. Data that has been added will be unchecked unless we specifically indicate that we want it included by checking the box and clicking Save. Now let's say we want to edit the annotations for a packet. There are two different types of annotations: master annotations and packet annotations. Master annotations remain the same throughout the candidate's career and will not change among packets. For example, whether or not a publication is refereed is a master annotation. Packet annotations are those which may change for each review, such as the asterisk to indicate what is included in the review period. To add or edit master annotations, we go to My Packets in the main menu, Manage Master Annotations, and then click on the section we would like to edit. Let's indicate that several of these publications are refereed. If I click on one, it is highlighted. If I hold down the Control button on my keyboard, I can click on additional publications to highlight several at a time. I can hold down the Shift button instead if I would like to select a range. If I click the Add Notations button, I can check the Refereed box to add that notation to all of the highlighted publications. For now, I would like to edit one individually. You can see that only master annotations are available for selection on this page, as well as the ability to add lines above or below a publication. I will indicate that this journal is refereed and has a major mentoring role, and click Save. Now let's edit packet-specific annotations. We will go back to the Manage My Packets page. To change the annotations for a specific packet, click on the Edit button next to that packet. The links at the top of the page will take me to the packet annotations for specific sections of the data. You can also edit the annotations for an individual record directly from this page by expanding the section and clicking the Edit Packet Annotation link. You can see when I expand the publication section that the first publication has an M in brackets next to it. This indicates that there is a master annotation attached to this particular record. If I click on the link to edit all publication annotations, we can see that the refereed and major mentoring role notation has carried over from our master annotations. We can also select several publications at once to add notations. When I go to edit a particular publication, we can see that only options available to me are the packet-specific annotations, which are the asterisks, X, and footnotes. Now that we understand how packets are created and managed, let's switch roles. I am returning to my account as a staff member in the department. I'm ready to begin assembling the materials for the candidate's dossier, so it's time to create the action. We can do this by clicking on the Start an Action link in the Open Actions section of the home page. If the action we want to create is a new appointment, then we would click on the Start a New Appointment link instead. We begin by searching for the candidate. If they don't yet have an MIV account, you will need to add one before proceeding. Click on the candidate's name in the search results. Select the appropriate action type, delegation of authority, and effective date for the action and click Start Action. You will be directed to a confirmation page. Click Continue to view the open action. We can see that the action has been started at the department location. From here, you can add the required and optional uploads as you normally would. You will also notice that there is a new line at the bottom of the list called Packet Request. You have the option to open or close the request. This is how the action will be connected to the packet that we created earlier for the candidate. Opening a packet request will not affect any documents that you have uploaded, but it will require a new disclosure certificate be signed by the candidate if they have already signed one. Each time you request a packet, an email will be sent to the candidate alerting them that the department is ready to receive the completed data for their action. Feel free to CC additional individuals or add notes to the additional information field, which will be visible to the candidate. Depending on your working style, there are a couple of different methods for handling packet requests. One option, like we've just done, is to open the packet request early in the process, with a message to the candidate letting them know that their action has been initiated and indicating the deadline by which you would like to receive their updated materials. You can continue to upload other materials at the department location, such as extramural letters, while these updates to the packet are taking place. Another option is to wait to request the packet until you are ready to send the action forward, using the email notification to let the candidate know that their packet is complete and that you will now be submitting it to their action. Either way, it continues to be the case that the candidate's disclosure certificate should be the last item completed before the action is then routed to the school-college location. Any changes to the dossier, including a new packet request, will require a new disclosure certificate to be signed. Now that we have opened the packet request for this action, let's proxy the candidate again to see what the request looks like. We can see on the candidate's homepage that there is a link called My Packet Requests, now with a red number next to it. Clicking on the link will take us to the Manage My Packets page. The top section of this page lists the outstanding packet request that we just opened for this candidate. Next to the request, we can choose the appropriate packet that corresponds to this action from a drop-down menu. Then click Submit to fulfill the request. If this candidate were to have multiple actions in progress, there could possibly be more than one packet request open at a time. Both would appear in the top section of this page. You will have the option of submitting the same packet to multiple actions, such as with a merit and appraisal where the data included does not differ, or you can submit different packets to each action. As you can see, the packets concept provides greater flexibility to the process of creating multiple actions and allows departments to continue work on an action at the department location while data updates are ongoing. Thank you for your time, and as always, please let us know if you have any questions by sending an email to miv-help@ucdavis.edu.
Thank you. Please stand by.